In today's music industry, there are lots of rappers with some downright evil allegations that they swept under the rug, hoping for the public not to see. But although it seems like they might have hidden them the best way they could, eventually, everything managed to get out. In my research, I found hundreds of artists with some horrible allegations, but for the sake of this video, I only chose 5. You will see some allegations from artists you might expect, but others will shock you just to know the things they do when they think no one is looking. Like Jay-Z doing one of the most backstabbing acts just to make it to the top. To start things off, we have Playboy Carti. Throughout the years, Carti has known to be somewhat not a good person. From regularly lying to his fans about his music, caught recklessly driving on multiple occasions, and even missing the birth of his child to play Xbox with Uzi.
Doing it while I was pregnant. This man didn't even come to see his son be born. He went to Philly to play the PlayStation with little Uzi. He thought that was more important than seeing his son be born. And I had a scheduled C-section.
But though all of that does sound bad, these things make Carti sound like an angel compared to probably his worst allegation to date, which was his felony assault charge for choking his pregnant girlfriend. It all began on December 20th, 2023. And at this point, Carti and his girlfriend have been dating for about 2 years and had lived with each other since July of 2022. Story goes that Carti's girlfriend wanted to talk to him about their baby, and the conversation about a paternity test led to an argument, which she claims escalated to a physical attack. My assumption is that although she had been 3 months pregnant already, she probably didn't tell him about it, and she finally told him, and he wasn't very much happy about that. But let me know what you think was the reason for Carti fighting her. According to the arrest affidavit obtained by TMZ, the woman told police that Carti grabbed her by her throat and pushed her into some bushes, holding her neck until she could barely breathe, and even told the cops she thought she was going to die. She also told police that a witness jumped in to try and break up the fight, and when she was able to escape from Carti, she ran to a car, where she claimed he attacked her again. She then told the cops Carti tried pulling her out of the car and put his hand over her mouth as she tried to use the car's SOS feature to call police. And when the cops arrived, police say that the woman had visible injuries to her neck, chest, and back. Carti was then arrested for felony aggravated assault, and his attorney Brian Steele told TMZ Mr. Carter was falsely accused. Pursuant to my communications with the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, this case would be dismissed without any prosecution or litigation. After this had now been shown to the internet, everyone had their own opinion on the matter, with one of them coming from Carti's ex-girlfriend and baby mother, Iggy Azalea, who in the past is known to tell the world how much of a narcissist and downright bad of a person Carti really is, saying in a tweet, "Been there, done that. Warned you. Imagine having a pregnant girlfriend and pretending they don't even exist until it comes out you like to abuse them too." By this point, many people were saying Carti would get cancelled and his career would be done, but that never happened, and he just grew larger and larger. A lot of people question how Carti even managed to escape getting cancelled. Let me know what you guys think, because I believe all of it could just be summed up to his die-hard cult fan base. So to rank Carti in the tier list, I would give him a A, because I mean, nearly beating your pregnant girlfriend to death is kinda crazy. But although Carti nearly beat his pregnant girlfriend to death, there is still actually someone who may have done something even worse than Carti. Enter in Drake. Drake is well known for having multiple romantic secret relationships, from the likes of Rihanna, Serena Williams, Jennifer Lopez, and multiple other singers and models, which is normal, being that Drake is one of the most successful bachelors in the world. But what happens when those women aren't necessarily women just yet? See, multiple times during the back and forth beef between Drake and Kendrick would on numerous occasions claim that Drake messed with underage girls. He says all of this because he claims that he heard that Drake once told those associated with him to keep their young sisters hidden from him because he likes his women young. But believe it or not, these pedophile claims have been surrounding Drake way before he even met Kendrick. On May 17, 2010, Drake performed at the Ogden Theater in Denver, Colorado. And during the concert, Drake called a fan onto the stage during an interlude and started to kiss her neck and hug her from behind, before saying that he was getting carried away and asking her what her age was. The girl then replied that she was just 17, to which Drake replied, "I can't go to jail yet," and stopped doing what he was doing. However, he continued, saying he didn't know if he should feel guilty or not, but that he had fun, and sent her off the stage with a kiss on the cheek.
I had fun. I don't know if I should feel guilty or not, but I had fun. I like the way your breasts feel against my chest and stuff. I just want to thank you.
But it didn't stop there, because Millie Bobby Brown also has somewhat of a weird relationship with Drake, which can be seen in an interview where she weirdly talks about an interaction between her and Drake.
Love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just texted each other the other day, and he was like, "I miss you so much." I was like, "I miss you more." He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited.
Why is Drake telling a 14-year-old girl that he misses her as a 32-year-old man is unknown. But it gets even worse, because when she was asked what kind of advice he gives her and about what, this was what she had to say.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys. He helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
This interview raised a lot of eyebrows and concerns with people, especially given his already shaky history. Millie Bobby Brown, of course, responded to the allegations in a similar manner to how Billie Eilish would respond a couple years later. "You guys are weird, for real," she wrote in an Instagram story. "I'm lucky to have people in the business extend their time to help me further my career and offer their wisdom and guidance. I'm very blessed to have amazing people in my life." For Drake's allegations, I would put it at an S, mainly due to the fact that pedophilia might be one of the worst things a human can commit. And for Drake, who knows how long and how many girls he did this to. Next up is someone who has been in the news recently for his allegations, and trust me, they go way deeper than you think. Diddy's whole situation is one like no other, because it's alleged that Diddy used force, threats of force, and coercion to make his victims engage in long sexual performances with other male sex workers, some of whom he transported. Diddy allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and also even recorded them. The freak-offs often sometimes lasted days at a time, and often involved drugs such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which he used to keep them obedient and compliant. And when he didn't get his way, he was violent, subjecting his victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse, so they would participate in the freak-offs. Then came his allegations with Cassie, which in a civil lawsuit, she said that Diddy had used his position of power to set the groundwork for a manipulative and coercive romantic and sexual relationship. Her lawsuit included graphic descriptions of violent abuse, alleging that Diddy regularly beat and kicked her, leaving black eyes, bruises, and blood, which all can be believed to be true, as shown when CCTV footage emerged showing Diddy assaulting Cassie in the hallway of a Los Angeles hotel in 2016. The pictures, broadcast by CNN, showed Diddy pushing Cassie to the floor and kicking her while she was on the ground. Cassie also accused Diddy of sexual abuse and rape, and claimed that many of these incidents were witnessed by his loyal network, who were not willing to do anything meaningful to stop the violence. Now, Diddy needs no explanation for why he deserves to be an Esther. I mean, come on now. Next up is someone who is known to be one of the most respected people in the industry. Jay-Z is regarded as a top 3 rapper of all time, and is also a billionaire. But what many people don't know is that Jay-Z did some secret backstabbing just to get there. And it all started with his best friend and business partner, Dame Dash. Jay-Z and Dame Dash actually met back in Jay-Z's early years of rapping, and through this friendship, they began to partner up, with Dame helping to promote Jay-Z's first single, In My Lifetime, a decision Dame probably wishes he had never made. Dame and Jay-Z then went on to create their own record label called Rockefeller Records, but around 2003, Jay-Z had left Rockefeller Records, and many people were confused and wondered why he would do this, since the label was so successful. Little did they know, what had seemed to be success on the surface was really secret backstabbing going on underneath that would ruin everything. Also, around this time, Jay-Z and the CEO of Universal Records, Doug Morris, would have secret meetings discussing the potential of Jay-Z to join the executive ranks of Universal. And when Dame heard about this, he wasn't happy. Then in 2004, Jay-Z would start to take action. After Kevin Liles had left Def Jam Records, they were left with no president of the board. So since Def Jam were so impressed with how Jay-Z operated things at Rockefeller, they offered him a 3-year deal worth $30 million that will pay him $10 million a year. Most importantly, this deal also included the clause to all his Def Jam master recordings back to him. So not only did Jay-Z secure a $30 million deal and receive the masters back for his music, he also became the boss of Dame Dash, since Rockefeller Records was under the Def Jam umbrella. And because of the arrogance of Dame Dash, he would then go on to sell his share of Rockaware to Jay-Z for $22 million, because he would have rather been independent than have Jay-Z be his boss. In the end, he thought that would have been a good investment, but later he would find out it wasn't, because just a year later, Jay-Z would then proceed to finesse Dame Dash by selling Rockaware to licensing brand Iconica for $204 million. Now, compared to all the other artists mentioned, Jay-Z doesn't sound that bad, which is crazy to say because he literally boxed out the person that put him on just to go higher in the business. But this also puts a little more heat on Jay-Z, because today, if you don't know, Dame Dash is now broke.
So I can't pay out $300,000 or $400,000 a year in child support because I ain't making that. But I'm not ashamed of that because I have things to show for it, but it hasn't profited yet. I'm like a proud broke, but it ain't broke because I have things to show for it.
So for Jay-Z, I'd put him out a B. And finally, we have one of hip-hop's most certified menaces, Tay K. The story all starts when a man named Ethan Walker was shot and killed at his home, and the police believe Tay K, along with 6 other people, planned to set up and rob the 21-year-old drug dealer. One of the women then led Tay K and more assailants into the home, where a struggle broke out, and Walker was murdered before the crew fled. Tay K was then later apprehended and charged with capital murder, and was ordered to be placed on house arrest. Then, with a pending certification hearing to determine whether or not he will be tried as an adult, Tay K would cut off his ankle monitor and go on the run, but not before announcing his plan to the world on Twitter, saying, "F this house arrest shit. F12, they're gonna have to catch me on hood." And that same day, the race was released. US Marshals apprehended Tay K at an affiant's home in Elizabeth, New Jersey. He was also charged with 2 more major crimes while on the run, with one of them being him robbing, shooting, and killing a 23-year-old man named Mark Saldivar at a Chick-fil-A in San Antonio, Texas. Tay K was also charged for assaulting a 65-year-old man in Arlington, Texas, and would eventually tack on an aggravated assault charge. And for Tay K, I think I'll put him in S tier. There are many other rappers I could have added to this list, but for the sake of time, I just chose these ones. But if you want to see another video like this one, put down in the comments some more rappers with some crazy allegations. But there was one more artist I forgot to add, who may have one of the most unbelievable ones yet. Click here to know all about that one.